Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Instant Replay right here on FYNTV.com. I'm your host, Dave Garner. We thank you for joining us for this 1 hour. I call it the fastest 1 hour of online sports talk in North Georgia, and it is also the only live weekly online sports talk in North Georgia. We're glad that you've decided to make us your home for this next 60-minute time slot right here. We're joined on the other side of the glass this morning by Amanda Evans and our very own Luther Kinsey. Guys, have a good weekend or what? Let's hear it.
We did. We had a very busy weekend. Had a football jamboree for CYFA.
I saw that on some of your pictures, man. You were busy with some youth ball there, with some good football.
They did good.
Yeah. Now is it just your oldest that plays, or
just my oldest.
Right. So he's what position?
He's running back.
Running back, awesome. Well, good stuff. Down there in Cherokee County, I believe.
Yes.
So we won't hold that against you. I'm from Cherokee County, so I can say that. But originally, Luther, I know you've always got a hand in something. So I know you've been all over the place. So we're going to talk a lot, of course, about high school football today, and you're going to join me out here for the second segment. But what's going on in your world, man? Anything crazy?
Whoo! Everything crazy. Everything crazy.
I wouldn't
Saturday,
expect
we were actually supposed to, myself and BKP was going to go over and cover some Gilmer football and jamborees, but it seemed like it was canceled because there weren't enough teams to play. I think they went to other jamborees instead.
Right.
So we'll be there this weekend, I believe, somewhere.
Sounds good.
And rumor has it that we will be live streaming some Gilmer youth football starting on the 24th.
There we go.
On FYNTV.com, right here where we are today.
Exciting news.
Haven't got a final note on that, but that was one of the proposed. It's Monday, I can't talk. Proposed days, but Saturday I actually went over to Gainesville and helped a friend do some landscape stuff and just kind of hung out.
That's what it's all about. You got to get it in before football season starts. Because once football starts, if you're like me. And once football season starts, everything else kind of goes on the back burner because you got to get your priorities straight.
Yeah, well, that friend happens to be a high school referee too. So so it's on for both of us. So get it done when you can.
There you go. Sounds good. Well, all kinds of football, of course. We are there. We've talked the last several weeks about the countdown to kickoff beginning. Well, the countdown is revving up, and we are now less than a week away as high school football teams, most of the high school football teams in the state of Georgia will kick off this Friday night. And coming up a little bit later in the show, we're going to talk about what went down this past Friday as local area teams were in preseason scrimmage mode. A lot of exciting football as we got a taste of what to expect going in to this first official week. Now, we'll say this right here on the Instant Replay. We've talked a lot, and Luther and I, we talked a lot about, hey, we made it through the summer. We bridged the gap. We really had no problem doing that. If you guys have been watching this show, you know that we've had lots to talk about, even locally with all the youth camps, all the different things that have been going on in addition to regional and national stuff. But basically starting this week and really next week, we're going to kind of settle into that rhythm. We're going to get that weekly rhythm going where we've got highlights from Friday night. We preview the games looking forward to the next week. And of course, we have plenty of high school softball and volleyball also mixed in between as well, and cross country too. Don't forget about that. Those guys will be cranking up here pretty soon. So a lot of things as we kind of get into this season. You're going to have some football every Friday night. You're going to have softball and volleyball throughout the week in cross country. So we're going to get into that rhythm with this show, and it is going to, if you thought that this hour moved quick, it's going to move a lot quicker, and it always does when you get into football season because there's always so much to cover. And we're probably we might squeeze in a little Braves talk here or there, or what's going on with the Atlanta United. Maybe obviously when we get into football season, we'll be talking about Georgia and college football and all those sorts of things as well. But for the most part, we're going to have our hands full with high school sports, and it starts this week. So let's go ahead and jump right on in here in this first segment. Before we get to high school football, we're going to talk about that in segment 2 and and revisit a little bit in 3 and 4. But in this first quarter of the program, I want to talk a little bit about high school volleyball, because these athletes, student athletes and coaches, have already gotten their seasons going. High school volleyball, and what a start for the FYN Lady Rebels. They have gotten off to a great start. You might remember us last week talking about that big quad match between FYN and Gilmer Pickens. I believe White County was there as well. But FYN winning their matches against Pickens and Gilmer in that match. So the Dragonettes, again, 0-1 on the season after losing to FYN. But they've got East Hall on the 21st and FYN again on the 25th. Gilmer also falling to FYN, but they've got Lumpkin coming up on the 14th at home, and on the road the 28th at East Hall. So volleyball cranking up there. The Lady Rebels off to a fast start. Union County at home against FYN on the 14th and home against Adairsville on the 16th. Murphy, the Bulldogs, Lady Dogs out of North Carolina, 8-14. They're at Smoky Mountain High School, and on the 16th they're at Highlands. And then Hiawassee Dam, also right there on the edge of our viewing area, if you will, 8-14 at home against Swain County, and 8-16 at Rossman High School. And that is a look at some of your local high school volleyball action. Luther, I don't know if you've had a chance to get out and see any of these young ladies play yet, but I know you will have the opportunity soon. I'm excited. I love volleyball. I've always loved volleyball. There's something about the sport. Indoors on sand, 2-man, 6-man, whatever the case may be. There's just something about volleyball. I've always kind of liked it. It's a fun sport. It moves fast. Everything's a point. I mean, if you've ever been to a high school volleyball match, it's exciting.
It is. And I'm just going to throw in a little fun right here. Volleyball is the only way spiking is legal. just
yeah.
It's Monday, man. I'm trying to cheer up and liven up over here. I have not been able to get out yet, and starting next week, I won't be able to probably get out any. But I do want to put it out to all the coaches. If you can, if listening, if you know a coach or something like that, please email us. Or you can email me personally at fynsportsluther@gmail.com. I would love to get the scores and the highlights and highlight your players. It's just there's not enough of me to go around. Starting Monday night, we'll be doing the live coaches show. Monday is Union, Tuesday is Pickens, Wednesday is Fannin, and Thursday is Gilmer.
Right. Yep.
On location in those counties, and BKP has asked me to help produce it. So I will be live on Facebook starting at 7 o'clock each of those nights. So I will not be able to make it out to much volleyball unless it's maybe a tournament on Saturday and I'm not covering youth football.
Sure.
But I will encourage everybody to send me the results. I'd love to be able to highlight. I'm doing all I can now, of course, but I like to highlight individual players. Stand out and get them some recognition as well. But volleyball is a sport that I absolutely love as well. Had the opportunity to officiate it several years ago, and life took over, and I was not able to do that. But I love volleyball.
Absolutely.
Maybe we need to find time to go watch some high school volleyball together.
Be a lot of fun. I've commentated it before. We've done some different TV stuff over the years with volleyball. It's actually not a hard sport really to commentate, because the action's kind of like tennis. Once they're playing, I mean, they're playing, and you're commenting after that point there. But Luther brings up a good point. Again, let us know what's going on. There are only so many of us to go around. Luther, if it happens in North Georgia, he's all over it. But as he mentioned, there's only one of them, and we've got some other folks in the mix as well that are looking to help us out. But we are relying on you guys, our viewers, to feed us some information when it's convenient. And you can always email us scores, updates, information on our student athletes, on your son or daughter, grandson, granddaughter, brother, sister. You can email us here at Team FYN Sports. That's Team FYN Sports at fetchyournews.com. Team FYN Sports at fetchyournews.com. Also, you can call us if you're watching on Monday. If you're watching this program on Mondays from 10 to 11, you're watching it live. You can call in and comment right here, 706-889-9700. And I can only imagine we'll have folks doing that once we get into the high school football season, to talk football, to give props to their team, to congratulate them, and so forth. But we also like to get those emails in as well. The show, again, Monday through Thursday, 10 to 11, right here on FYNTV.com. We thank you for joining us. We've got a lot of show ahead for you here today. A lot of high school football talk as we officially jump in to week 1 of the high school football season this Friday night. Now, Now, I have the opportunity, actually. I'm actually going to be calling a game on Thursday night, of all things, over in Rome as part of the one of the Georgia kickoff games that's being played over at Barron Stadium. Calhoun and Ridgeland playing at 5:30, and then Rome and Marietta going at it at 8:30 in the nightcap. So a doubleheader at Barron Stadium. So that ought to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, we'll turn around on Friday night. We'll have all of our local high school football going on. So, again, we are there, folks. We are there, and we are set, ready to rock and roll. We're going to go ahead and take our first time out. When we come back, Luther Kinsey live in studio, breaking down scrimmages from Friday night and looking ahead to this week's matchups, all that and much more straight ahead on this week's edition of the Instant Replay here on FYNTV.com.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Days ahead. It's Truck Month at Dave Chevrolet in Jasper, and we're giving you a payload of savings. Now save up to $13,000 off new Silverado Crew Cab LT, and with Dave's Payment Vacation, make no payments for 90 days. Or save up to $7,400 off new 2018 Chevy Equinox. It's Truck Month in the mountains. See Dave Chevrolet in Jasper today, the North Georgia Mountains #1 volume Chevy dealer.
Better days ahead, Dave Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
We are back in studio here live on FYNTV.com. Dave Garner with you alongside Luther Kinsey, who is officially going to be branded as the Gilmer guy after. Well, I guess Union County too is purple technically, but I mean, so you could pull off a couple different things.
Well, you know
like
that works because BKP hired a new reporter for Union County whose name just happens to be Luther.
Okay,
Luther Jones.
There we go.
He's up there, and he's doing some reporting for Union County football.
Maybe there is enough Luther to go around after all. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway.
I hope he looks totally different than I did. No.
But anyway, good to have you on with us as always. Friday night was a busy night as we've talked a lot about the countdown to kickoff, and we've spent all summer teasing it. It's here, folks. It is here. High school football season is here, and Friday night we got a small taste of what we can expect over this first week of the high school football season. Our first look, if you will, at some of the teams, and Fannin County getting a victory in preseason action over Cahola Creek, 13-0 on Friday night, and of course that sets the stage for a matchup that we're going to talk about later in the show. Fannin Gilmer. That was obviously one that jumped out at us last week, especially me. Let's run down a couple results real quick. Union County, Habersham Central playing to a 35-all tie. A lot of offense in that scrimmage right there. Dawson County with a win over North Forsyth, 28-14. Very impressive win for Coach Sid Maxwell. We'll circle back around to that one in a minute. And Denmark and Pickens going at it. Denmark, the new school in Forsyth County, 40-39 Denmark with one more point than Pickens. Now, I say, we say final score 40-39. You got to realize with a lot of these scrimmages, there's JV, there's the freshman teams, there's varsity. So the combined number of points when all those scrimmages within the scrimmage were said and done, 40-39 Denmark. But what about your impression of these matchups? Well, we've got a few more that we're going to cover as well. But let's start with Pickens. A lot of offense in this matchup.
R.J. Casey, the reporter there, of course, I spoke with him last night to get the final update for the show. He said overall they looked good. Passing game was a little off, but did real well. Real well. Of course, varsity, I think it was 28-14, I believe, was their score, Denmark. The JV actually won their portion of the game. Right,
right. Battle back 18-12, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, there were no point after attempts, extra points kicked or anything like that, so there could have been more. One highlight I don't have in there, of course, Pickens has got a couple freshman kickers.
Right.
Right before the half, at the end of the varsity segment, he barely missed a 59-yarder
Wow.
Barely. Now, of course, I'm sure they weren't rushing, but at the same time.
Still, though, that's a lot of leg, especially from a young kid.
Yes. Yeah. They say he has kicked several 60-plus yarders in practice.
Wow. Man, so put that thing on the midfield stripe and let it rip, man. That's awesome.
Exactly. He kicked it from the center of the Pickens logo in practice.
Well, you have a weapon like that. And I know, in this area traditionally, now we're seeing it a lot, especially since soccer has taken off a lot in the area. You're starting to see a lot of quality kickers come through these programs. But traditionally, this area, you don't always have the great field goal kickers, from 20 years ago. Like we said, that trend's changing. But what a weapon to have, because that anytime you cross midfield, you've got the opportunity to put points on the board. Right. And that really changes the complexion.
And he is a soccer transition.
Right.
So
there you go.
He is a soccer transition, amazing young man, great kicker. That is a weapon I'd love to have on any team.
Right. Got a quote here from Sid Maxwell, too, as we kind of jump to that Dawson County game as well. And we're going to talk about Pickens, their opening week, of course, Stone Mountain. We're going to talk about all those a little bit later in the show. Right now, I just want to recap this past Friday night. But Dawson County over North Forsyth. Now, North Forsyth, I can tell you, I saw these guys last year. Big school. Great program, very good football team. Dawson County 2 touchdowns better in the scrimmage. Coach Maxwell says, quote, "It was a good win, and being a scrimmage, football is a marathon, not a sprint. This game allowed us the opportunity to rotate a lot of players in. It'll help as the season starts and moves on." Coach Maxwell was one of my assistant coaches when I was in high school. Eventually became the head coach at Sequoia. Of course, went to Lambert, was there a long time. That sounds like Coach Maxwell. I mean, I can tell you right now, that's something he would say. He said that before, football's a marathon, not a sprint. That's true, and it's about the entire season. Coach Maxwell's got those Tigers rolling pretty good, it sounds like.
He does. Maxwell's a great coach, great man, pretty firm.
Yeah,
pretty firm, as you probably remember. But,
right.
He's got those guys on board. Being former official, I was out of that area over in Gainesville. We officiated a lot of their games, so I've seen a lot of Dawson County, and they are really, really, really good. Their heads are on straight, and they focus task at hand, and they know what they're doing out there. So it's going to be a great season for the Tigers.
No doubt about it.
Great season for the Tigers.
We've got a little news on Coach Chad Cheatham, too, out of Fannin County, but the Rebels off to a good start as well against Coahulla Creek, so that's certainly a big one there. Let's talk about some more matchups. White County over Stevens County, 13-7. That's huge. Of course, former Gomer coach Wes Tankersley now at Stevens County as those guys start out, but White County looking pretty strong with that win there. Lumpkin County over Towns, 21-14. Towns County, we know traditionally is not had a good history, but they made the playoffs last year, so it's a different Towns County look going up against pretty good Lumpkin County team. So that was a good matchup, and the one that a lot of folks here in our studio area are talking about, Gilmer over Murray, 2014. The Bobcats have not won a regular season matchup since 2015, and they get a scrimmage win on Friday night. Now, granted, it won't go in the history books, but what a big momentum builder. Coach Wingard with a full coaching staff now. These guys were fired up. I saw some Instagram videos and things from some of the students and stuff. Right. Man, these guys were fired up, and I'm hoping that energy carries over into week 1.
It will. I believe it will. Of course, there's some good and bad out of that game. We'll mention the bad in a moment. The guys are ready. Opening play, Gilmer took the coin toss and chose to receive.
Right.
And they want to get out there and put it on it. David Smith. First play of the game, 65-yard touchdown run.
How about that?
I talked to him in third quarter. He said he was still tired. So, the defense played well. Brogdon had a 9-yard run. I think Corbin Singleton had a 35-yard touchdown pass. There were some issues. There was a couple bad snaps, either by the center or mishandling from the quarterback. But all in all, it looked real good. And JV, of course, there was no score in the JV portion, so that score of 2014 is varsity score. Both Murray and Gilmer didn't score anything in the JV, but the JV for both squads, even for Murray, looked good.
Right.
We cover Murray. Of course, I focused on Gilmer this week with this one, being the Gilmer reporter. But Murray looked very good as well. Big guys, big team.
Right.
Ran the ball very well. And that 35-yard touchdown pass was on 4th down and 18.
Oh, wow.
So I need to bring that up.
Aggressive,
It was. Scrimmage games. That's
scrimmage game.
You got to go for it.
Yeah, well, you're inside that territory, that in-between territory, probably a little bit outside field goal range, too close to punt. Air it up, see what happens. Corbin, a little double move there, and broke up for a touchdown.
Perfect pass down the left side, and
right.
that was it.
That says a lot. Now, obviously, the one bad thing about preseason scrimmages, just like in any other preseason in the NFL or wherever, is you do risk injury, obviously. And that's unfortunately kind of bit Gilmer a little bit, I guess, on Friday night.
It did. On that same opening play, senior running back Hunter Boyer was rolled up on his left leg, and he went down. X-rays revealed he has a broken tibia and fibula in his lower leg, right above his ankle. It will require surgery. Talked with his family yesterday. He's in great spirits. I mean, you got some pain, obviously, but his mom, Stephanie Boyer, said that he was really trying to find the positives of this so he can focus through it.
Sure.
And but they were supposed to meet with an orthopedic surgeon today. She has my number, my text, my phone number, everything. She said I'll call, text, email, whatever I can do with results and updates of what they're telling me, so I'll stay on top of that real thing. And probably will miss the entire football season. Of course, this is his first year playing football as a senior. Comes in as a starting running back. Most people may know the name Hunter Boyer from Gilmer baseball. He's a catcher for the varsity baseball team as well.
Haas, no doubt about it. Thoughts and prayers certainly go out to Hunter. Get well, man. Speedy recovery is what we're wishing you here, no doubt, and hopefully we'll see you back out there for sure. But that's definitely a big blow. Let's talk real quick, kind of before we hit this break, because we're circle back around and talk about this week coming up. Obviously, we want to spend some time on that. We don't want to look too much into these scrimmages because, after all, they are just scrimmages. But that brings me to my question. How much weight do you put into, we're throwing out these results. Gilmer gets a win, all these different things. How much weight do you put into these preseason scrimmages, considering that it's not a full game? Like you said, David Smith said, hey, I'm still recovering from that one. Conditioning, a big part of these early games, especially as soon as we're starting. I mean, August 17th, it's an early start, it gets earlier and earlier. How much weight do you put into these results, I guess, in these preseason scrimmages?
Well, as an individual, I don't personally put a whole lot in them. To me, it gives the opportunity to see your guys, let them hit somebody other than their own friends on the team, which they haven't done since spring. So this is when you really want to fire up your guys, kind of put that Energizer battery in their heart and say, we're ready. This is it. This is what we've worked all spring and been in the weight room for in the summer and worked our preseason practice for. Go out, let's work on things. You may have that big lineman put on a different jersey and try to running back. For instance. So you want to look at different players in different positions. If you get beat 30-0, you still see what you need to work on. If you win 30-0, you still get to see what you need to work on.
Absolutely.
So that's my personal opinion. I think from a coach's standpoint, I've never coached football, but in talking to several of them, and of course officiating over the years, and communicating with them most of them look at it as, okay, we get to fine tune what these guys already know and prepare them. There again mentally, but also physically, and of course put that Energizer battery in the heart still to get them going. But it means more to a coach than it does, to me as an individual. Of course, fans. It's football.
It's football.
The
crowds were out there. The faces were painted the other night. The student sections were rocking. So don't tell them it didn't mean anything.
And real quick on the Gilmer game, it was first responder and military appreciation night. Before the game, Gilmer High School recognized all the veterans. Thank you for what you've done in your service. And at halftime, they recognized the first responders, police department, fire department, EMS. And there was 2 gentlemen in the student section. One of them had his fire helmet on, holding an American flag with both the red line for the fire department and the blue line for the police department. And he actually gave it to a friend and ran down in the pouring down rain at halftime and shook every one of them's hands.
Wow, that's awesome.
Thank you to those guys as well.
No doubt about it.
Thank you very much. And Gilmer, thank you for doing that and recognizing them. That was class. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for your service. No doubt about it. And that was the other story too, was the weather too. I mean, that was something else that happened throughout North Georgia, especially in LJ at that scrimmage game.
Fortunately, that was halftime. Fortunately,
right
before halftime, it started mist and rain during the 3-minute mandatory warm-up period that Georgia High School has. Murray was out there working out just a little early. I was in the press box to protect my camera. And I could physically not see the Murray County team on the field from the rain.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's
crazy.
It was terrible. And, of course, third quarter starts up, it slacks off, and football's back on.
Friday Night Lights, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. We're going to take a timeout. Luther, stick around with us. We're going to have you back on later in the show to break down week 1. Coming up, we're going to have a couple of other high school football tidbits, plus what's going down on the high school softball diamond. Plenty of action here as we officially crank up the fall season, all that and much more straight ahead on this week's edition of the Instant Replay. Stay with us.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Elijah next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Elijah next to Walmart.
Days ahead.
It's Truck Month at Dave Chevrolet in Jasper, and we're giving you a payload of savings. Now save up to $13,000 off new Silverado Crew Cab LT. And with Dave's Payment Vacation, make no payments for 90 days. Or save up to $7,400 off new 2018 Chevy Equinox. It's Truck Month in the mountains. See Dave Chevrolet in Jasper today. The North Georgia Mountains #1 volume Chevy dealer.
Better days ahead. Dave Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Instant Replay. I'm your host, Dave Garner, joining you right here on FYNTV.com as we continue with our high school football discussion leading up to Week 1, which is this Friday night throughout the state of Georgia for most all of our North Georgia football programs. And keeping with football, Luther, hey, I can't see too well. Is that Chris Parker out there officiating? I tell you what, that was one of the things that we didn't talk about last segment, but we were talking off camera. Supposedly Denmark forgot to schedule officials. So in addition to coaching duties on Friday night, several coaches from both sides had to play official as well. I know that had to be interesting. So
yeah, that had to be kind of biased, if you ask my opinion. But Georgia High.
They're probably tougher on their own guys, though. Really, in a preseason scrimmage.
Of course.
So,
Georgia High School has a rule in place for officials that if you say for instance Gilmer, if you graduated from Gilmer, you can officiate at Gilmer or a Gilmer game. I think it's like 3 years.
Right.
Something like that. I wonder how they would. Thank God it was a scrimmage, but how would they look at Chris Parker officiating his own team? I don't know if that rule applies to athletic directors and coaches or not.
I mean, that's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. I mean,
he would never.
No, I honestly think. I mean, obviously for preseason scrimmage, you do what you can. I think that seriously, I think in that situation. Now, again, I didn't get to see the scrimmage, but I would imagine that most of the coaches were probably throwing more flags against their own team. Getting them ready. For the season more so than probably penalizing the other team. But
right.
Yeah, I'm sure that had to be an interesting situation for those guys on Friday night.
It's kind of a good thing as well. If me, I kind of look outside the box on a lot of things sometimes, and this is one where like in youth football, the coaches are on the field.
Right.
Well, Coach Parker and some of the other coaches being able to be out there on the field. Number one, it saves their voice from yelling.
Right,
but,
exactly.
They're able to say, look, okay, this right here, this is what you got to do. So I'm sure coaching them was a little more accessible for that, and and that was good. I'm sure that worked out for them.
Different perspective, I think, no doubt about it. So
right.
I'm having to grab the microphone here. Let's talk about some other high school football news. Some more, speaking of Pickens, Zach Goss has been chosen to play in the Elite Raw Talent All-American Bowl this year. So congratulations to Zach, a big honor right there. We've certainly enjoyed watching him over the last several years, and we'll continue to do so, hopefully into the next level there. And also, Miles Johnson, the big guy from Fannin County, chosen for the Georgia Elite Classic this year as well. So some nice Highway 515 recognition for a couple of our local student-athlete football players there who will indeed be representing at the all-star level, and so that's always fun. And here's another little tidbit of information for you before we transition to high school softball, because we got a lot to talk about. Coach Chad Cheatham played the role of hero. Now, we're bringing this up because we know he wouldn't do this, but Coach Cheatham and his staff basically had the team up at Horseshoe Bend Park in Mineral Bluff a few weeks back for a team building, an overnight team building event. And on July 27th, about 3 p.m., Coach's phone rang. And correct me if I'm wrong, Luther, because I'm reading this off of some of the notes. A person on the other end called and said there were a couple of kayakers stranded, and that Coach Cheatham was probably the closest, to them. Could he go and help them out? So basically, what happened? Coach Cheatham started to run, realized he wasn't going to get there in time, hollered for one of the assistant coaches. They jumped in a Jeep, and they were driving towards the river. And knowing this river, since he had grown up there, he was basically able to find the kayakers, was able to rescue them, and they are safe. And so thank you, Coach Chad Cheatham of Fannin County, man. You're a hero. We appreciate that. But that's just that's if we find out something like that, we want to share it with you, because that's an interesting story. And Luther, I know you know a little bit more about that, but man, it's not only about what happens on the field, it's also about what happens off the field, and it just goes to show you the character of the young men, both the players and the coaches that we have here in our local area.
Right. Yeah. Coach Cheatham was actually preparing going down the road. I mean, he was pulling stuff out of his pockets, so he didn't, his wallet and all that stuff, everything, I'm sure, to go in. Like I said, he grew up there.
Right.
He's very familiar with the water, been there several times. And, he was just mentally preparing himself to go in and do what he had to do.
Right.
I don't know who it was, on the phone that called him. But his quick response, and not knowing the situation of the the kayakers and what type of situation they were in,
right,
as far as being other than being stranded, he very easily, his quick response very easily could have been what saved their life.
You never know.
And
Absolutely.
His selfless attitude is very much appreciated by us here at Team FYN Sports, and he passes that on to his team. And football is not just about running up and down the field, hitting somebody and scoring touchdowns.
Right.
It's about making young men or young boys into men.
Sure. And
that kind of selfless attitude and willingness to help someone else in the time of need will pass on to those young men, and that's what any sport's really all about, right, is turning those athletes into young men and young women across the board.
No doubt about it. Good words indeed from Luther Kinsey. Luther will be on the other side of the glass back out here with me in the next segment as we break down this week's high school football. Man, that sounds good to say. Before we get there, though, high school softball, let's transition to the Diamond quickly and talk about the results over this last week. Let's start with the Dragonettes. 1-2 on the early season. They've got they beat Union County to grab their first win of the season. Losses on the season, Lumpkin and Union so far. So they've already split with the Lady Panthers there in the early going. They've got Heritage on the 14th, and they're at home against Lafayette on the 16th. Gilmer County, the Lady Cats on the Diamond, they will start their season on the 16th. And today's the 13th, so what, 14th, Thursday, right? There we go. They will start on the 13th at Ridgeland. At the Lady Cat Classic on the 17th, the Lady Cats will play 2 games there. So a busy week indeed for Gilmer Lady Cat softball. Union County 2-2. They've already played 4 matches with wins against Pickens and Habersham Central. Both losses came against these same 2 teams as well. So they've split the series. They're at home against Dawson County on the 13th, August 13th, and Towns County on the 15th. So a busy week with 2 matches this week for Union County. How about the Lady Warriors of White County? 2-1 with wins against Lumpkin and Dawson. Their 1 loss came against Lumpkin. So again, a lot of these teams in the early part of the season, with the way the regions are and so forth, splitting, playing double headers, playing 2 matchups, home and homes. You see a lot of different combinations early in the season. White County at home against Flowery Branch on the 14th and at Flowery Branch on the 16th. So again, another home and home there. Towns County will open the season on home on Wednesday of this week, facing Union County in a big rivalry game there, and that'll be followed by a home game against Providence Christian Academy on the 16th, so later on Thursday. So again, a lot of high school softball going on here in our local area, and again, stay tuned to FYN Sports, Team Fetcher News Sports, also FYNTV.com, obviously, is what we're on right here, and of course the instant replay on Mondays for the latest from the high school softball diamond, the volleyball court, the cross-country trail, and of course from the prep gridiron and other surrounding information. Coaches, players, community interest stories, great individual efforts of things. We're also going to do, as Luther mentioned earlier, youth football. It's not just going to be focusing on the high school level. I mean, we've got middle school football, we've got youth football, youth sports for softball, middle school. I mean, obviously there are a ton of fall sports going on, and we're going to do our best to cover them, because if it happens in North Georgia, we're all over it. And we thank you for tuning in right here as part of Team FYN Sports and Fetch Your News and FYNTV.com. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we return, Luther will be back out here in studio. We're going to talk about week 1 of the high school football season. Stay with us on this week's edition of the Instant Replay. We're back in
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
The Tupelo tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Days ahead.
It's Truck Month at Dave Chevrolet in Jasper, and we're giving you a payload of savings. Now save up to $13,000 off new Silverado Crew Cab LT. And with Dave's Payment Vacation, make no payments for 90 days. Or save up to $7,400 off new 2018 Chevy Equinox. It's Truck Month in the mountains. See Dave Chevrolet in Jasper today. The North Georgia Mountains #1 volume Chevy dealer.
Better days ahead. Dave Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
And back here on the instant replay, we thank you for joining us right here as we officially start the countdown to kickoff Friday night, week 1 of the high school football season. It is here, and Luther Kinsey is here with us to break down this Friday's matchups. Now, obviously, in week 1, there's a lot of unknowns. I mean, we're going off a little bit of the scrimmage that we saw on Friday night, but for the most part, this is the most optimistic time of year because everyone is 0-0. Yeah, everyone has the chance to make the playoffs. Everyone has a chance to play for a championship as of week 1, and usually that's the case at least for the first few weeks. So let's start with this since we started this show, I've been looking forward to this moment. This Friday night, or this Friday being the first show before Friday Night Football. So let's talk about week 1, Luther. Obviously, a lot of great matchups here. Kind of going through them. Towns at Hayesville. Gilmert Fannin, a big one. We'll come back around. Stone Mountain making a long trek up to Jasper to take on Pickens. Murray at Armurchie. Dawson at Habersham. That'll be a good game. Murphy, North Carolina at Pisgah, to name a few matchups. And the next week, White and Lumpkin go at it. They actually don't start till next Friday night with their opener.
Lumpkin's at East Jackson this week.
Lumpkin's
at East Jackson.
Lumpkin's at East Jackson, so they do open up. What jumps out at you? I mean, let's talk about these. We'll pick a couple. We'll break them down in the remaining time that we have on this week's program. What are you looking for in that Gilmer Fannin game? I mean, that Highway 515 rivalry right there. That's always a lot of fun.
When you have a rivalry game, you might as well just throw all sense of, I think this can happen or this can happen out the window because there's no way to determine what's going to happen.
Right, yeah.
Gilmer, I believe, is coming in, hot. I mean, they're coming in real hot. They've, beat a very good Murray team. Hit hard, ran the ball well against Murray. Got the win there. That win is on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
That win, hopefully not just temporarily, broke their mindset from the last couple of years.
Right.
We can't win. We can't win. Right. We're not going to win. Well, they won. Scrimmage game or whatnot, they beat another team.
Right.
They are coming in hot as can be, basically 1-0. It's just a scrimmage game, but they're coming in 1-0. Fannin won theirs. They're 1-0. But so they're still basically the same record. But Fannin's got that new coach. Everybody's anxious to see what he's going to do. But Gilmer's coming in hot. I'm not because I'm a Gilmer reporter, and not because I'm wearing purple. I'm just saying, but Coach Cheatham, I love you and I'm sorry, but I'm picking Gilmer. I'm picking Gilmer I'm going to say by at least one touchdown.
Right.
What do you think?
I don't know. I stay away from it, man. Don't get me wrong. I stay away from it. I always tell people I'm from Cherokee County. When I started working here, in this area years ago, I always said I'm good for this job because I'm not from, these areas. Right. I make it known up front I'm a Cherokee County guy, so that way I kind of get away with being that, and no one's ever accused me of being biased either way. And Amanda's smiling back there; she's laughing at something.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely.
I think she's laughing at me because she knows I'm trying to get away from that.
Exactly what you're talking about because I'm from Cherokee County too.
And that's what's happening here. But in all honesty,
I think to be honest with you, and of course obviously this rivalry, when you look at it, Fannin has owned the most recent part of this rivalry. Gilmer traditionally I think has probably been the stronger team, and I don't have the breakdown. Usually you just going into broadcast. I don't have the series is pretty close. Obviously back in the day with Fannin, when you had East Fannin, you had West Fannin, then the two schools obviously combined to make Fannin County High School. Since that time, I think Gilmer may lead the all-time series, but I know Fannin has obviously owned it most recently. I think there's a lot of unknowns, obviously, with Coach Cheatham coming in, being a new coach, new system, typically new personnel. It's going to be very interesting. Gilmer, I think, is hungry, but I think Fannin's hungry too. Both teams have been down. The Rebels have been down too over the last couple of years. So I think it's going to be a great game. I think the turnout is going to be huge. Folks always make this game real well. There's always a huge crowd. The very first game I ever called here in 2002 was the Gilmer Fannin game, and it was at Gilmer. And I don't think I've ever seen that many people at a high school football game. Seriously, it was insane. And the schools were back then, it was 2A, 3A type stuff. And I had come from Cherokee County, from Forsyth County, from Cartersville. From areas with strong football programs, and yet that game right there broke me into that rivalry, and I'll never forget that. Stone Mountain Pickens, intriguing matchup here. Dragons taking on a team that probably a lot of folks in the local area don't know a whole lot about. Stone Mountain, traditionally a very tough team, had them in a playoff game years ago in Cherokee County, and a lot's happened with them over the years, but it's gonna be interesting. I was down in Duluth the other day, and I could see, from 85, I could see Stone Mountain. I was thinking, man, these guys got to travel all the way back to Jasper, and I was an hour away from Jasper at that point. It's a heck of a road trip.
Well, Pickens is hoping there's some bus lagging. When you get to these bigger schools, not just Stone Mountain, but any of them, like, you get into Forsyth County, Denmark's, all that, Coach Parker's already said, and in the interview that we saw a couple weeks ago, they're bigger, faster, stronger.
Right.
And it's definitely a test for them, but, being a non-region game, Coach Parker's all about going out and taking on that test.
Right.
He wants to face that monster, so to speak, head on, so his guys can get better.
Yeah.
Because 99% of the sports out here, whether it be pros or even down into youth, you play to the level of your competition.
Right.
And if you're playing a bigger and better team, your guys are going to step up and hopefully get bigger and better themselves.
Oh, yeah. And they've had success doing that. They've played Chattahoochee the last few years, bigger school. They beat them.
Yeah,
they've had success.
It's going to be a really good ball game. I'm hoping as we talk to scrimmage, the passing game is just a little off. They'll get that worked out this week.
Yeah. That's what the preseason's for.
Yeah.
That's what the preseason's for.
He'll be good.
Murray at Armurchie, Dawson at Habersham, all good games. Murphy at Pisgah, Lumpkin at East Hall, or at East Jackson, as you said. Of course, we mentioned Towns at Hayesville. A lot of great matches. We're about out of time. We only got a minute left. I want to save this last minute or two to talk about the coaches' shows, which we'll crank up next week.
Right.
So we want to make sure that you guys know about our schedule, because next week does start a full lineup right here with Team FYN Sports. So,
yeah, starting Monday, after, of course, Friday night being the open season, Team FYN Sports holds a live coaching show where we'll have head coach of the team and assistant coach, and generally two players.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. They come on, sit down with us. We talk football. We talk the previous game and the game up front. Of course, Dave here and Brian Pritchard, BKP, will be the host for those each night. Monday is at Union County. Tuesdays at Pickens County. Wednesdays at Fannin County. And Thursdays in Gilmer County. Like I said, we go set up. We're live on location. We'll live stream on Facebook this year through Facebook Live. Team FYN Sports on Facebook at 7 p.m.
There we go. every night next week except for Friday because that's when they're playing games, but every other night. So basically there is something going on pretty much all the time now with Fetcher News Sports, Team FYN Sports, and right here, of course, we've got the instant replay for you live on Monday mornings 10 to 11, the replays throughout the week through Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Of course, expected maybe some streaming, some youth games you mentioned earlier, and that's exciting news as well.
Team FYN Sports is teaming up with Gilmer Park and Rec to hopefully starting the 24th. I'm not confirmed on that date yet, but to live stream several games from Huff Mosley Stadium for the Gilmer Park and Rec.
And join us live on Facebook Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for those coaches shows again starting next week. Union County on Monday, Pickens Tuesday, Fannin Wednesday, and Gilmer on Thursday, 7 p.m. live on Facebook next week.
I want to add one more thing. Still time to get your sponsorships in. If you'd like to sponsor and be a part of the high school football season through that, please feel free to email us at
Team FYN Sports. Yep, Team FYN Sports at FetcherNews.com.
I cannot believe I just went blank on that. I use that all the time, and I just
don't let BKP hear that now. He's right out in the hallway now. Well, that's going to wrap things up for this week's show. We will be back here on Monday, and we will be talking about what went down with Week 1 of the high school football season. Man, I can't wait. It's an exciting time of year.
And I have the honor of getting that Gilmer Fanning game.
There you go.
I'm
excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. No doubt about it. For Luther Kinsey and for Amanda Evans and our crew here at Team FYN Sports and Fetcher News, I'm Dave Garner saying so long, everyone. You've been watching the instant replay right here on FYNTV.com. We'll see you next week.